it's Kate from Sleep Time Baby, and today's Sleepwise Wednesday is a quick whiz through my tips on getting back on track for returning to school or returning to nursery. So really what we've been going through over the last 6 weeks in my house has been slightly a bit more of a lax kind of routine, shall we say, slightly later bedtimes, and kind of maybe not sort of adhering to the normal rules, especially that we've been going through in terms of when school is on. And that's because we know we take a bit of a step back, we encourage a bit more freedom and enjoy the sort of summer altogether. But that kind of back to school is going to start for us in about a week and a half's time, so really need to kind of think about kind of what's going on and getting the kids back to their normal sleep patterns. So what I'd encourage you to do firstly is look at the time that you need your children to be going to bed. And for children up to the age of about 12 years old, that is normally between 7 and 8 p.m. If they're on the younger side of it, definitely closer to 7, so that you're getting them down so they're not so overtired. But basically don't push it too late, to make sure that they will have the ability to settle. So you want to know what time it is that they're going to go to bed and what time they may be going to bed now. So that might be slightly later, and that's fine. But what I'd encourage you to do is every 4 days, move bedtime about 15 minutes earlier. So you're getting their body clock a bit more used to kind of going to bed a bit earlier on. And then by the time you're getting back to the school start date, you've probably been at your standard bedtime for a few days, so they're very much used to going to bed at that time. And that will help them to settle into school a little bit better and not be kind of super tired from those early kind of more morning starts, and actually kind of perhaps a later bedtime if you haven't got there. So that's kind of tip number one. The second tip is trying to get back onto your normal bedtime routine. So you might be taking a bit longer, you might be missing parts out, but try and revisit kind of what you know kind of works. So that's generally kind of like about half an hour, maybe slightly longer bedtime, including elements of the same thing each night, so that they get the signals and they get the messages about what's kind of coming next. So have a think about that and maybe get back on track over the next few days so they start to kind of know exactly what's happening. And the next thing is really just playing with kind of the light that's going on in their world before bedtime. So firstly, screen time. Again, during the summer, maybe you're being a bit more free giving with kind of screen time, but be careful about that as you're kind of heading back to school, because if your child has lots of screen time before bedtime, then actually the blue light can inhibit the production of melatonin, which is like the sleepy hormone, which helps them to get to bed. So what I suggest is that you cut off all screen time for at least an hour before bedtime, and maybe just play a game or something along those lines to help them with that production of the sleepy hormone to get them ready for bed. Similarly, watch out what's going on with light levels. So it's still, although not super sunny and hot, it's still quite bright out there at that time. So maybe try and dull the light a little bit with kind of blinds or curtains, and maybe use light that you can control if you've got dimmer switches and stuff, to make sure that actually you're helping them to kind of get ready for bed at that time. So those are the kind of few tips that I had for you on kind of getting back to school. If you start implementing them now, then it won't be such a struggle when kind of school's just happening tomorrow. So have a think about it, maybe give it a go, and let me know if you kind of have any problems. So that's it for Sleepwise Wednesday for today, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.